KUAM TV 8, your home for Super Bowl 52.
Hafre and welcome to Weekend Edition. I'm Crystal Paco, so glad you could join us. Health services are going well at the local prison. It's part of the required federal mandate that helped to get DepCor out of its longtime consent decree order. But as Nick Delgado reports, another agency is struggling financially to keep up with providing those healthcare services to the prison population.
Caring for the health of those being held at the Department of Corrections, the prison is required to offer adequate care for its inmates and detainees, a requirement now met that helped the prison to get out of its decades-old consent decree with the district court.
Our staff work really hard to meet the clients or the inmates' needs. We do have regular sick call. We have follow-ups on chronic care needs of the individuals up at DOC. So we're doing our best, and when they need hospitalization, they come here. We take care of that.
16 hospital staff are assigned to the prison. Though the commitment to care for those at the DOC facilities is going strong, GMH Administrator Peter John Camacho admits they have been providing the services out of pocket.
Those expenditures come out of our funds for now.
Camacho has been discussing the issue with prison leaders. DepCor, he says, was shortchanged $3 million in its recent budget, making it difficult to pay bills owed to GMH.
In line with everything that they've been challenged with up at DOC, safety and security, are kind of like at the forefront right now. Previously, when we began this project with DOC in terms of providing the clinic services, we were getting compensated for that. This fiscal year, though, because there was no funding and not enough funding from the legislature to DOC, he had to make a call.
A continued call for lawmakers to help them find funding. For now, Camacho says they remain committed to providing care for those being held at the prison. He's hopeful a solution is found soon.
We've worked so hard to do that. I know many departments worked on that. The Attorney General, the Lieutenant Governor, the hospital, DOA, I'm sure was involved. So a lot of work went into that to try.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusi, Nick Delgado.
The Department of Corrections will be taking the hot seat before the Legislative Public Safety Committee this week. Committee Chair Senator Talina Nelson will be asking prison leaders about several issues that have made headlines in the last year. The discussion is set to include protocol for people visiting the facility, contraband, and general safety measures. The oversight hearing is set for 2 p.m. on Tuesday in the Guam Congress Building Public Hearing Room. In addition to DOC, members of the Guam Chamber of Commerce will also make an appearance before the legislature at Monday's public hearing to address their concerns about proposed Bill 230. Keani Mendiola has more.
The unfortunate thing about the bill is that it would impact the entire community in a very negative way.
Guam Chamber of Commerce President Catherine Castro is talking about Bill 230, a bill that seeks to eliminate tax exemptions for wholesalers, banks, insurers, and hospitals. As proposed by the Committee on Rules by request of the governor, if the bill is passed, the generated revenue will go towards the Guam Memorial Hospital. And this sounds good philosophically, but in reality,
what's going to happen is we're going to see double taxation at the grocery stores, at our restaurants, right? You're going to see prices go up, and wholesalers are probably going to have to really streamline their operations. You're going to see some folks lose their jobs, and that's going to be very, very unfortunate.
On a more positive note, the bill has sparked interest, and people are becoming more educated of its downsides. But Castro is willing to work with lawmakers to come up with better solutions.
Let's come back to the table. Let's talk about this. There's other ways to do it. Let's meet halfway. Let's make a compromise. But we, as a chamber, we have mobilized our members.
The hearing will be held on Monday at 2 p.m. at the Guam Congress Building. The Guam Chamber of Commerce is encouraging business owners and the public to come out and speak against the bill. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Keani Mendiola.
Again, that hearing is set for Monday at 2 p.m. in the Guam Congress Building's public hearing room. The start of the new year is always a time for healthy resolutions. This includes getting tested for cancer. Carmen Terlahi has the story on Cervical Cancer Awareness Month.
January kicks off Cervical Cancer Awareness Month. Rachel Ramirez, the health educator for the Guam Breast and Cervical Cancer Early Detection Program, says since it was created in 2001, its mission was to raise awareness and prevent cancer.
We are committing to provide free mammogram or pre-pap smear to the community for those with no insurance, uninsured, underinsured, and low-income underserved populations.
With the signing of a proclamation Friday, the program's prevention activities were off to a good start. This is part of their annual educational outreach.
Yes, we do outreaches also in the community. So if you saw us in the supermarket doing our outreaches, so we are trying to enroll women. And sometimes we do have walk-in in our program, in our office. So that's.
Ramirez says it's a top 5 issue on Guam, but if it's detected early, it can be prevented.
For Guam, based on the cancer vaccine figures 2008-2012, cervical cancer is one of the top 5 incidents in Guam. Yeah, it's still in the top 5. And the eligible women in our program actually runs from 23,000, and we are only screened like 3,000 under the program. So you see the big gap or big difference, how we can approach, how we can reach all these women in our community.
She encourages any person interested to make an appointment or get more information at 735-0671. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
It's been 1 year since the Trump administration has been the head of the nation. President Donald Trump will be giving his first State of the Union address on January 30th. Trump will be giving his views on the nation and plans for legislature for the year. What he will cover still remains under wraps, but Congresswoman Madeline Bordallo will be in attendance for the address.
Never missed a State of the Union. And although it's very unpredictable as to what the president will say, but I will be there and I'll have my comments after it's over.
1 year after his inauguration, the federal government was temporarily shut down when Republican members of the Senate failed to pass on budget spending measures. Should they close up shop and start from scratch? That's just one of the options on the table for Kamling Karadot Incorporated, the nonprofit organization most known for catering to the island's homeless population. Earlier this month, their newly elected board held its first ever meeting to discuss their finances. As reported, the Concerned Catholics of Guam recommended they close its doors and start over due to past alleged fraudulent activities, which they linked to Archbishop Anthony Apron and Deacon Frank Tenorio. In a press release this week, the nonprofit reports they'll be securing legal counsel to decide how best to proceed. Quote, the board intends to review all options before making any landmark decision, end quote. The board's next meeting is scheduled for February 13th. Stay tuned. Next on Weekend Edition, we'll rehash some of the big stories of the past week, and still to come, the Guam Crime Stoppers report.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
A year is made of more than just 365 days. It was each new connection, every show of support, and all your special moments. Happy New Year from your friends at IT&E.
They've qualified and are ready to uproar Guam. A multiple extreme challenge event Friday, February 2nd at the Sheraton Laguna Resort, Guam. Come and cheer on your athletes. The region's first ever head-to-head fitness challenge. Doors open at 5 p.m. with the challenge beginning at 6 p.m. $25 to enter with proceeds to benefit the Special Olympics Guam. Tickets available at Custom Fitness in Agana, Boca Box, and will also be available at the door. Uproar Guam, Friday, February 2nd at the Sheraton Laguna Resort. Presented by Coors Light and IT&E. Special thanks to the stations of KUAM, Custom Fitness, Physical Therapy, Lumber 6, Bonded, Trench Challenge, and XYZ.
Holiday and welcome back to Weekend Edition. This is Rehash, where we recap the big stories of the past week. And this was probably the biggest story of the week. Nestor, what happened?
Well, the governor's TRAN bill was back in the news. That is the tax revenue anticipation note, which is basically where he takes out, the administration takes out a line of credit to pay for timely tax refunds and pay it back later at the end of the year when they get the revenue. What happened was and let me go through the history a little bit because it's got a little bit of long history. The bill passed in May of 2017 by a 7-6 vote. The legislature's Democratic leadership said, no, it requires 8 votes, which is the legislative majority. So the governor sued to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the governor, which said, no, it only requires a majority of those voting. And then the Democratic leadership said that, well, that's a prospective ruling, and so it doesn't apply to the May 2017. And so the governor has sued again to ask the Supreme Court to compel the legislature to follow through on its ruling. And then this week, the legislature voted a second time on the TRAN bill, and it was defeated 8-6. So the governor, we interviewed him, and he said, well, that's an illegal move. And we have been trying to get some comment from the legislature. I did speak with the legislative legal counsel who deferred at this time to comment on it pending, he said there's pending litigation because there is the governor's motion before the Supreme Court. So that's where we stand now. The legislature this week held a second vote on the TRAN bill and defeated it, but there is a motion before the Supreme Court where the governor has asked the Supreme Court to compel the legislature to follow through on what he believes was a duly passed bill. So that's, in a nutshell,
TRAN in 3 minutes or less.
Bill, yeah.
And again, this is relative to everyone's favorite topic, tax refunds.
Exactly.
Whether or not you get your tax refunds paid out in time. So, Kiani, what were you up to this week?
Okay, so since we're basically on the topic of double jeopardy in a way, this week, they discussed Resolution 239, which involves Senator Espaldon and the ethics complaints against him. Now, the Ethics Committee did review and did their investigation, and originally they voted, there was only 2 affirmative votes and 3 chose to report out. And so what happened was, it came on the agenda on Monday, and basically Senator Michael St. Nicholas, he tried to make a motion, why is it even on the agenda? They voted already. And Senator Estevez was the one, he is the chair of the Ethics Committee, and he basically opposed and said that, it was a technical error. They had all chose to approve the resolution in their meeting, duly sworn, but because of a voting sheet that was attached, it shouldn't have counted, and based on legal counsel, they said that it was an error and they should have a revote. And of course, Senator Espaldon, because this is dealing with him, is going to get emotional. So it was basically, you could see it during the session that they did kind of go at it. There was a bit of a heated debate, and so basically, all in a nutshell, the resolution was sent back to the Ethics Committee, so we will see what's going to happen.
All of that just to go back to where it started.
Yeah, definitely.
And you were at the hospital.
I was at the hospital. So GMH earlier this week had a press release, a press conference, where they said that they might lose accreditation, which is a big deal. They cited some big flaws in the hospital, and it's in and out of the news, and so it's kind of cool to resurface that issue in particular, how we can get better health care towards the patients that do go to GMH. And again, they're asking for money which they see as the solution to everything. But you never know. But that's basically in a nutshell. I did some other cool stories. Just want to mention one more.
Okay.
Just because it was about active shooters and on school campuses, and I think that was really important. It wasn't to say that nothing has happened on Guam, thankfully. But if it were to happen, DOE has a plan. Really cool to know that you can watch that video and you can learn more about what that plan is.
You can see we're all very busy this week. Myself, I spend a lot of time at court as usual, and I'm covering this really interesting rape trial. I've never seen anything like it. Usually rape cases are he said, she said, and in this case, he's denying it. She didn't actually know it happened. And so Austin Bertinez, he's 22 years old. He's charged for an alleged rape that occurred 6 years ago. And the allegation is that he drugged the victim, who was 14 at the time, that he drugged her with ice cream through something that he may have put in the ice cream, and that he raped her in her sleep. The 14-year-old girl, she reported waking up in pain, and she went home and she found blood in her panties. And so what we're learning in the first week of trial is that they did find the defendant's DNA in the underwear. And that is what prompted his arrest. And they also reported that Healing Hearts did prove that she was in fact raped. And so we are going to see how this unfolds, because there's a hole in the story that there was a second sample also found in that piece of underwear, and it was a sample from a Caucasian male. And if you ever watch their video, you can tell easily that it is not, that our defendant here is not Caucasian male. And so Monday, trial resumes. We'll see what happens. You can log on to KUAM and check out any of our stories, maybe past or today's news, at KUAM.com. If you have any news tips, you can email us at reporters@KUAM.com.
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes, from caring for our land through the Adahi Itanu program to generously supporting our local charities, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Kita Smaasi Matson.
Advances in technique and medications used to prevent dental pain have shattered the myth that a dental visit is something to fear. Even the dreaded root canal or wisdom tooth extraction. Swabbing or spraying a topical numbing agent on before the injection, and using different techniques and anesthetics can create a relatively comfortable or pain-free injection. Injections are often the most feared procedure. Some patients don't like the sounds or the vibrations of decay removal. If you're still nervous or you gag easy, despite these techniques, very safe oral medicines can be taken before your dental appointment to eliminate all fears, or some clinics use nitrous oxide gas. Pain relievers can easily be prescribed to eliminate mild to severe dental discomfort after any visit. For your Helpful Dental Minute, I'm Dr. Kenny Bourgeois of Paradise Smiles. We shall never know all the good that a simple smile can do.
Watch Think Green every Wednesday on KUAM News for a look on how energy efficiency can help manage your energy costs. Think Green showcases products and services from local companies offering products that qualify for cash rebates, conserving energy, or other GPA energy services. Presented by GPA, bringing energy solutions to you.
My name's Jack Griffin, and I don't want to be here. I'm living in my dead mom's apartment while teaching advanced placement biology. I'm an award-winning philosophy scholar, but here's the deal. We're not going to do any biology in here.
Are you seriously never going to teach us biology at all?
Maybe Pablo Picasso can come in and teach driver's ed.
You're enjoying yourself here?
God, no. Teaching high school in Toledo.
There's a rule here at KUAM and pretty much on Guam. If you need help or you want to find out how to be safe, you call in the Sarge. And Paul Tapao is here right now from GPD. And Paul, it's really sad to see the number of youth-based crimes that have picked up on our island right now. For example, we put a story up on Facebook just last week, and we said there was a crime involving like a young person over in Mighty. Automatically, 95 straight comments, people are saying it's the parents' fault. Where are the parents? Do the parents know about this and everything? Is that always the case?
No, that is the case. You know, the parents, your child is your responsibility, and we hold the parents accountable for every action that's committed by the child, whether it's good or bad. You know, the good deeds and everything will be recognized, and also, you know, if a child decides to do anything that may involve the criminal activity, you know, we are going to hold the child, the parent of the child, responsible for that. And you're right, you know, a lot of the viewers were expressing the concerns about where the parents in the picture. And we want to stress is that, you know, you are responsible for your child. You are responsible for every action that they commit that's criminally, and you're going to be held liable for that. And when we take a minor into custody, and, you know, the first thing that we have to do is make sure that the parents are there and the parents are present. And, you know, a lot of these issues rise about the activities or the inactivities the kids are involved in. It really does boil down to parental involvement. And, you know, we're starting to see a switch now in where parents are now coming forward asking for advice about what they can do to help their kids, because maybe it's just ignorance of the law or not understanding the full totality of the law and what they can and can't do. And they're reaching out to, you know, last week we talked about the Department of Youth Affairs and the outreach, and they're also reaching out to our offices, our juvenile investigators, about what they can do and help upbring their child, and of course to steer them away from the path in which they're going to.
And even though that particular crime was a very unfortunate instance, let's use this as a teachable moment, because for all you youngsters watching, that person who committed that crime is only 16 years old and will be tried as an adult. We just ran that story last night.
Yeah, absolutely. And once you are tried as
that
an
can
adult,
happen to you.
Yeah, it can. It can. It's the decision that you make, and, you know, coupled with the influence of alcohol and everything, you know, it causes the child to not really, you know, they're not rationally thinking about what they're doing is right and wrong. It's just for that moment. And I stress this all the time when I go to the schools. Don't live for the moment. You got to think about your consequences. Think about your future. Think about everything you're putting in jeopardy for that moment. And, you know, we can't do this without the parental involvement. And every outreach that we do, we stress that the parents get involved. Cheer on your child, cheer on their accomplishments, but also be there too when they're at their lowest and when they need you the most. This is where the parents needs to be a part of the child's life.
Well, let me just play devil's advocate for a moment, because a lot of people would be watching this and say, you know, okay, I agree with you, that works. I have to work, you know, 2 or 3 jobs. I work long hours. You know, I'm not always around to be there to, you know, watch after my kid. I don't know what my child does in 24/7 and everything like that. How can I get more help, or are there resources that I can use, because I care about my family's well-being, including if my kid gets in trouble?
Well, you're going to have to make choices that's going to count. You're going to have to make choices whether you have to work those double shifts and everything, because by law, you still need to be there as a guidance, and you also need to be there for the supervision and everything. If you are, you know, a latchkey child and everything, you need to understand that that requires a great deal of responsibility, and you have to make the decision as a parent whether the choices that you're going to make, how is it going to affect, how is it going to help with the development of your child or the development of the kids within your family. So really, you have to make that decision. You have to make those choices as a parent, and ultimately, you need to understand that it's going to fall back to you, regardless of what happens, regardless of the 2 jobs that you're holding. Everything is going to fall back to the parents for the actions that the kids and the minors commit.
That is your responsibility as a mom or a dad.
Absolutely. And you know, we understand the trying times with the economy and everything and trying to make ends meet, but you still have to set aside time. You still have to set aside time to be that parental guidance for your child.
All right. Well, what do we got for this week's Crime of the Week?
This week, unfortunately, is a burglary that occurred at MU Lujan over the weekend.
Okay, MU Lujan. This one's for you. Let's find out how we can help.
On Monday, January 8th, officers from the Higanya Precinct Command entertained a burglary complaint that occurred at MU Lujan Elementary School in Zonia. Now, according to the police report, school officials arrived for school operations only to discover that 2 classrooms had been broken into over the weekend. Officials discovered that the rooms appeared to have been rummaged through, with personal items taken from within the classrooms. Now, the students from MU Lujan Elementary School need your help in reference to this school break-in. If anyone has any information about this crime or any other crime, you can call our 24-hour hotline at 477 4357-HELP. That's 4357. Or submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. All calls will remain completely confidential, and a cash reward of up to $1,000 could be paid if the information provided leads to an arrest and a grand jury indictment. Your call does make a difference.
All right, so we want to make sure that everybody watching can help our friends over in Adjonia. Good people over there, and it's a shame that had to happen to that school, but let's help them out, everybody. All right, Paul, final word.
Get in touch with your kids. Find out what they're doing. Find out who their friends that they're hanging around with. Get to know their friends. Get to know the friends, the family, the parents of their friends and everything. And start a system where you establish that trust. Remember, your hunches, your parental guidance skills are the best skills that will guide you through the upbringing of your child. So get involved. Get involved with their activities. Get involved with their school and ask questions. What's going on with your life?
All right. Thanks so much, Paul.
Thanks for having me again.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there is a reason why it says Sergeant on Paul's badge. He earned that because he cares and he wants to help keep you safe. And let's help him do his job by helping out our police department. We're back after this.
A year is made of more than just 365 days. It was each new connection, every show of support, and all your special moments. Happy New Year from your friends at IT&E.
It's Triple J's out with the old and in with the new sales event going on now. Get unbelievable savings on all remaining 2017s, plus many 2018s. Take advantage of our best pricing on all Hondas, Acuras, Fords, Mazdas, Lincolns, Volvos, Kias, and used cars. New cars as low as $137 per paycheck, and used cars as low as $80 per paycheck. Plus no payments for 90 days, 0 down and 1.9% financing on approved credit. Visit us online at triplejguam.com and get pre-approved instantly. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. See dealer for details. Triple J Auto Group. Customers first.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
They've qualified and are ready to uproar Guam. A multiple extreme challenge event Friday, February 2nd at the Sheraton Laguna Resort, Guam. Come and cheer on your athletes. The region's first ever head-to-head fitness challenge. Doors open at 5 p.m. with the challenge beginning at 6 p.m. $25 to enter with proceeds to benefit the Special Olympics Guam. Tickets available at Custom Fitness in Agana, Boca Box, and will also be available at the door. Uproar Guam. Friday, February 2nd at the Sheraton Laguna Resort. Presented by Coors Light and IT&E. Special thanks to the stations of KUAM, Custom Fitness, Physical Therapy, Lumber Sigs, Bonded, Trench Challenge, and XYZ.
My name's Jack Griffin, and I don't want to be here. I'm living in my dead mom's apartment while teaching advanced placement biology. I'm an award-winning philosophy scholar, but here's the deal. We're not going to do any biology in here.
Are you seriously never going to teach us biology at all?
Maybe Pablo Picasso can come in and teach driver's ed.
You're enjoying yourself here?
God, no. Teaching high school in Toledo.
And before we close out the news tonight, here's our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Happy birthday, Rain Leonidas Ikfaji, turning 2. To our handsome Prince Charming, we love you very much. Love your baby sister, Aria Lachey, Grandma, Grandpa Ikfaji, Mommy, Daddy, and the family. Also celebrating this weekend, happy birthday to you, Audrey Timinglow. Many more wonderful years to come. Thank you for all you do and still continue doing. We love you and hope all your wishes and dreams come true today. With love always, Shelly and Rich. Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. That's all the time we have from all of us here at Guam's News Network. Thanks for watching and have a safe weekend.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM TV 8, your home for Super Bowl 52.
Huffaday. I'm Peter Duenas, corporate chef and owner of Mezcla Restaurants. Join me in my quest for culinary inspiration and some of the best flavors around. This is my food obsession. Bags are packed, got my fishing poles, and I'm looking forward to another wonderful adventure in Alaska. So I just landed here in Yakutat, Alaska, and we're here to do some salmon fishing and hopefully catch some halibut while we're at it. I'm also hoping to check out the food scene here in the small town of Alaska. Population 400, maybe 600, give or take, during certain times of the year. But I'm excited. It's nice and cold, but it's sunny, and we're looking to have some fun. So come with us and let's check it out. We just made it to camp. We're at Ryman's on the beach. It's a beautiful, cozy cottage set up right on the water. It's owned by Skip and Rosemary Ryman, and we've actually stayed here before, and we're here again as guests. Take a look at that. We are footsteps away from the ocean. We're excited to be here, and we're ready to fish. Today, we're headed for the Lost River, a place where the locals say you could stick your toe in and a salmon would bite. And after a couple of casts, we knew that the salmon run was in full swing.
Gotta fight in him.
That's how we do it. Come on now.